The Monday night loss to the Philadelphia Eagles may have looked like a simple 10-7 defeat on paper, but inside the walls of Lambeau Field, it carried deeper implications for the Green Bay Packers and their defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. The game was slow and gritty, dominated by field position and stalled drives, yet it also told a more complex story about a coach whose work continues to outshine the final score and perhaps set the stage for a career-defining offseason. The Packers have now dropped to straight games, and while the offense appears stuck in neutral, the defense is building a reputation that could eventually take its architect away from Wisconsin. Hafley, who joined Green Bay last season, has quietly transformed the defensive unit into one of the most efficient and adaptable in the league. His fingerprints are on everything from the way Green Bay disguises its coverages to the increased discipline in its run fits and situational awareness in red zone defense. Against the Eagles, the numbers speak for themselves. The Packers' defense allowed just 10 points at 111 rushing yards to one of the most dynamic offenses in football entering the game. The Eagles ranked near the top of the league in both scoring and total yards per play, averaging 26 for points and over 5 yards per snap. On Monday night, Hafley's unit cut that production nearly in half, forcing Jalen Hurts into uncomfortable throws and holding the Philadelphia offense to a season low in efficiency. The defensive line controlled the trenches, the linebackers maintained gap integrity, and the secondary communicated seamlessly. It was the kind of defensive performance that wins games in most weeks, but not this one. The Packers' offense could not capitalize on the effort, squandering field position opportunities and missing open receivers in key moments. The failure to complement a dominant defensive showing left Hafley's work underappreciated by the final whistle. Yet within NFL circles, those kinds of performances do not go unnoticed. League executives and insiders understand that consistent defensive dominance, especially against top-tier competition, is a reflection of coaching acumen, not coincidence. Hafley's rise in the coaching hierarchy. Jeff Hafley's name has been floating around front offices and media networks for months. Long before Monday night, there were whispers that the young coordinator could be next in line for a head coaching job somewhere around the league. Reports earlier this year linked him to the New York Jets during their search process, and insiders suggest that his reputation continues to grow with every statistical leap Green Bay's defense achieves this season. The Packers rank 7th in scoring defense, allowing just 19.6 points per game. They sit 3rd in opponent yards per play at 4.6 and have recorded 20 sacks through 10 weeks. Those are not fluke numbers. They represent a disciplined and well-coached group built on balance and communication rather than pure star power. Hafley's approach blends modern college concepts with professional level precision. His defenses emphasize spacing, coverage, flexibility, and relentless pursuit. He has also shown an ability to adjust to personnel changes, quickly turning mid-round draft picks and unheralded free agents into meaningful contributors. Hafley's coaching career began in the college ranks with stints at Pittsburgh, Rutgers, and Ohio State, before landing the head coaching job at Boston College, where he developed a reputation for tough discipline and a strong player connection. That same player-first mentality has translated to the pros, where several Green Bay defenders have publicly credited Hafley for making the system simpler yet more effective, allowing them to play fast without confusion. A natural fit for the Giants, with the New York Giants expected to part ways with Brian Daboll this offseason. It is no surprise that Hafley's name has surfaced again, according to ESPN analyst Peter Schrager, who mentioned before Monday's game that the Giants front office may take a closer look at him. Hafley's East Coast roots only make the connection stronger. He grew up in New Jersey, understands the local football culture, and carries the kind of demeanor that fits the New York market: straightforward, professional, and focused. The Giants will likely consider offensive candidates, given that they are developing rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, but defensive coaches are once again finding traction across the league. Following the success of defensive minds like DeMeco Ryans and Dan Campbell, franchises are rediscovering the value of identity builders, coaches who can establish culture first and worry about scheme second. Hafley fits that mold perfectly. He is respected in both locker rooms and boardrooms for his poised communication and commitment to fundamentals. Green Bay's coming dilemma: if Hafley continues to elevate the Packers' defense over the final stretch of the season, Green Bay may soon face a challenge. It did not anticipate losing one of its most valuable leaders. The Packers have historically prized continuity within their coaching staff, but the NFL is a business that rewards performance, and Hafley's rise may soon outpaced the organization's ability to keep him for a franchise that has struggled at times. To field A. Consistently elite defense, Hafley has provided direction and stability. His schemes have reduced explosive plays and improved situational execution, particularly on third downs and in the red zone. Yet as much as Green Bay benefits from his leadership, the better his defense performs, the greater the chance another team will come calling. The coaching carousel is expected to spin fast this offseason, with several teams preparing for turnover at the top, and Hafley's resume now reads like that of a prime candidate for a rebuild or a rebrand, a season of opportunity and uncertainty. The coming weeks will define not only the Packers' playoff hopes, but also Hafley's professional future. Green Bay faces a stretch of games that includes the Giants, Cowboys, and Vikings, three matchups that could showcase how sustainable this defensive surge truly is should the Packers finish as a top 5 defense. By year's end, Hafley will almost certainly be among the first wave of coordinators to receive interview requests. The irony is that such success could weaken the Packers' long-term trajectory. Hafley's influence extends beyond play calling. He has established accountability standards that ripple through the roster and fostered a level of trust between players and staff that cannot be easily replicated. His potential departure would create a vacuum, not just in strategy, but in culture. Still, for Hafley, this is the natural evolution of a career built on precision and patience. If an opportunity arises, whether in New York or elsewhere, it will be difficult to ignore, especially with his stock at its highest since entering the NFL coaching ranks. Green Bay might hope to retain him with a promotion or contract extension, but the league rarely waits long for promising minds. Final thoughts in Monday's game may be remembered less for the score and more for what it revealed about the Packers' internal dynamics. A defense capable of holding one of the league's most powerful offenses to 10 points is proof of structure, vision, and leadership, all of which belong to Jeff Hafley. The tragedy for Green Bay is that such success may soon take him somewhere else. For now, Hafley remains the quiet architect of one of the NFL's most disciplined units, but the league is watching closely, and so should the fans, because stories like this remind us that behind every play, every stop, and every stat line, there is a coach whose next move could reshape not only a team, but an entire franchise. For more behind-the-scenes breakdowns, analysis, and deep dives into NFL strategy, coaching, and culture, like and subscribe to join a community that lives and breathes football every single week.